The Flash issue 81, Joshua Williamson writing with Scott Collins on the art. And this isn't the last issue of the arc, although it kind of felt like it in a lot of ways. But I mean, it says next time's the last part of Death and the Speed Force, so we'll see.
Which has been a criticism of ours with Williamson this entire run, that sometimes the stories last maybe an issue too long.
Yeah. Joe, the frustrating thing about this is, so you get Flash and Zoom inside the Forever Force, and Black Flash is there. Barry got stabbed. He seems to be fine, though. It's not really a big deal.
It's just a big boo-boo.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I expected him to be fine pretty quickly because it's comic books, but I expected to be a bigger deal made out of it in the meantime, whilst before he was fine, but whatever. And so eventually we get this reveal, which we were kind of speculating actually, that Thawne was behind Zoom's origin, and okay, right, cool. And it leads to Zoom making a sacrifice to try and save everything. This is a sort of heroic, noble, redemptive
because that's
thing.
what Flashes do, Pete.
Yeah, that's what Flashes do. And I don't hate that he's made this decision. I kind of, it feels rushed though in the book itself. It feels like all of a sudden he's just willing to do this, and I'm like, wait, whoa. Like,
he wants to be the greatest Flash. So I get looking into the psychology of the broken Hunter Zolomon, right? I get that he wants to be the greatest Flash. Well, what do Flashes do? They sacrifice themselves. Whereas you're still not going to beat Barry, because Barry still sacrificed himself to save the infinite Earths, right?
Yep. I feel like it just needed like a bigger story beat where we actually see him kind of realize this, as opposed to he just kind of starts doing it and he's like, "No, I'm going to go save everything," because that's what Flashes do.
Yeah.
So that was kind of weird. I kind of enjoyed the Wallace and Avery stuff, where they're with the rogues and they're kind of sneaking around, but Golden Glider finds them, and when Zoom does his whole sacrifice thing, it sends this like eruption through the Speed Force, and I thought they were doing a thing here where they were maybe all going to lose their powers, but they do make a point of saying immediately that they still feel connected to the Speed Force. There's just something weird going on.
Yeah, I mean, also where's Commander Cold and Forza? Now, are they trapped in the Strength Force that's now gone?
That's a good question. We don't really see them in this issue.
No. So all we have left is what's his name? The monk dude, Steadfast,
who gets mind thingied at one point by, is that maybe Perpetua? Am I forgetting what Perpetua looks like?
Yeah. So this is what I will appreciate Williamson here, is that it does a really good job of tying in that the Still Force was one of the Doom forces, right?
Yes.
So of course, if Steadfast is tied into that, then if the Still Force is being used for Doom, it's going to send shockwaves through him. So I did like that, and I also liked with Captain Cold that he's like, oh, I thought Luthor was just full of it, but hey, looks like he was right that Doom wins out in the end.
Yeah, because there's like a sinister line from him. You know it's cold because you've got the snow at the top of it. Yeah. It says, we'll make sure you get home to Wallace and that. And it feels kind of sinister. And the book ends with like Wallace and Avery getting thrown through the front of the Flash Museum, and then we end with this 2-page spread of the rogues. So I mean, for the most part, I hate the costumes. I think Cold looks good. Yeah. Heatwave looks okay. I hate Mirror Master actually being made of glass. I hate it. I hate it.
But now that we have Looking Glass on Watchmen, though, like the costume looks on point.
That's true, but that's a shiny mask, not a glass mask.
No, but what I mean is like it's the same purpose, right? Is to cast a reflection.
Okay.
You know. But
right.
So I did immediately think of the Mirror Master redesign when I saw that and went, huh. I wonder if they talked to Williamson, he's like, hey, I got an idea.
Yeah.
You know?
So yeah, it's just the rogues all assembled in the last double-page spread with the big Doom symbol in the sky behind them. So you get the idea that the symbol in the Flash has just appeared at this moment. This is like sort of putting it in the timeline kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was basically it. I mean, it was a quick enough read. Scott Collins is on the art again, who does suit the Flash a bit better, I think.
Well, and we got callbacks to Zoom's first appearance, like when he's going and he's running, but he's in the red suit versus the yellow suit. If you go back and look at I think it's the Blitz story arc when we first see Zoom, I think that was his first appearance. So there was a nice little book in there with Collins. and whatnot. I appreciated that. I don't know. I just kind of felt the Zoom stuff was kind of lazy, and I like Josh Williamson, and I hate saying that about him.
It felt a bit rushed. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I kind of felt the same about. I was talking to someone in the group, I think earlier this week, about Nailbiter, because he just finished Nailbiter, and the ending kind of felt the same as this, where it's like, okay, you've been building to this thing, and then the ending just happens. At least with Flash, we'll get some fallout in the next issue. But Nailbiter, that was it. It ended, and I'm feeling this is just kind of Williamson's style, for better or for worse. But yeah, I don't know. I'm running out of steam with the Flash right now.
I will say I'm glad that this arc does seem to be putting most of an end to all these various forces and all that stuff, because it's been kind of since because we love Flash War, but it's been kind of been since right after that.
Right.
So it's been a year. It's been like a good year or so of this stuff.
And help me with the logic here is that Zoom created the Flash War, basically the stuff between Wally and Barry, in order to access, because he had stuff from the future, right? Because he was there. He's the one that sent the Renegades after Iris, right?
Yeah, because he wanted them to race so that would break open the Speed Force.
So then he could run into the Speed Force, and then so he could fight Death, which I don't like. Either this is the most elaborate suicide attempt of all time, or Zoom's going to be the new Black Flash. That's all I can think of the final play out, is that when you think about what the Black Flash is, and it is representative of Death for the speedsters, what better than someone that went through time?
I mean,
right?
I wouldn't hate him being the new Black Flash, because if Black Flash is someone who now has a personality and someone who will maybe talk to them a little bit more because it's Zoom, I mean, it's not terrible.
No, but I'm just trying to get his plan and understand where it's coming from, and unless it ends up with that, I don't know exactly what all this was for. With him getting these new forces in order to draw out the Black Flash because he has a beef with Death, which I kind of like as an idea. I guess the execution here, like you were saying, it was rushed. I don't get it. Maybe I should hit him up on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what were you going for here? I don't know.
What can one say? I think much like a lot of recent Flash stuff, there's little moments I like, and the stuff that I don't hate reading. It's not it's not like a difficult read,
no.
But I mean, it's just
plus that cover is early entry in the cover of the week for me.
Okay.
With all the Rogue's hands being raised up, it's very classic Flash to me.
Oh yeah, so, it's nice.
But yeah, it's almost. I don't say almost awesome, but it's almost like a really great issue, and then just stuff kind of falls apart.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah, if I'm rating this, I think I have to go with like a. Is this another 6 for me? I think it is. That's another 6.
Oh, see, I like it a bit more than you. I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah, but I would say that's mostly Scott Collins carrying the load here. Because story-wise, definitely not. But I really like the art.